Hey y'all, I'm Paula Deen. You know, when it comes to making a good impression, it's important to put your best dish forward. And today I'm making a meal to impress the boss, a mother-in-law, or even the president. And I'm going to be starting with a gorgeous veal loin that's stuffed with roasted bell peppers and goat cheese and basil. And it looks just as good as it tastes. And then I'm putting together a delectable crab mousse, perfectly served in shells. And for dessert is a sweet and spicy, old-timey pumpkin roll cake that's sure to earn you extra brownie points. So if y'all are expecting someone important soon, stick around. You don't want to miss this one. The first dish that I'm going to be starting off with this morning is veal, and can't go wrong with veal. So let's go ahead and get started on it. Now we're going to start with a long piece of boneless veal, and this one's rather on the thin side. So I'm going to cut it one time. I'm going to butterfly this one time, make it like a bifold. And I'm going to make sure that I don't go all the way through. Make sure you've got a sharp knife for this. Now that I've got it cut, I can come on in here and finish butterflying it. All right. Now this is what Gertie's been waiting on, isn't it, girl? We're gonna cover this meat so that I won't get meat juice all over me. And we're just gonna start pounding. We don't want it to come apart. So we'll concentrate more on the edges. This is gonna help make it even more tender. Somebody just said I look like Wilma Flintstone. Okay, so I think that'll get it. So now we've got it pounded out. I'm gonna put a little house seasoning. All right, I'm gonna wash my hands real quick like. Now we're gonna mix some cheeses together. I'm gonna mix an herb-flavored goat cheese and a chive-flavored cream cheese together. And this is going to be part of the stuffing that goes in our veal. We're going to save out about a quarter of this because we're going to be making us a sauce later on. Now, I've got a pot of boiling water. We are going to blanch and shock some arugula. And that doesn't take but just a minute. Just that quick. I'm going to put it out over here on my towel to dry. All right, now I'm going to take about 16 leaves of basil, nice big leaves. I'm going to do the same thing with that. I'm getting ready to stuff the veal. All right. The first thing we're going to do is take our arugula that we've blanched, and we're going to lay it out in about a 2-inch wide strip. And then we're going to take roasted yellow peppers. All right, now we're going to go with a layer of sun-dried tomatoes. I just love them, love them. And now we're gonna go with our cheese. We're gonna save about a quarter of that later on for our sauce, so you'll wanna make sure you remember to save you some. All right, now we're gonna come with our basil. Roll it along, and you can see all the beautiful colors that this has. All right, so now we're gonna roll this up, jelly roll style. Just like that, tuck everything in. All right, now I'm gonna take about 6 pieces of twine. I know that probably most people do their entertaining in restaurants now because our time schedules are just horrid. But this is so nice if you can take time to do this. This needs to go in the refrigerator and sit for at least 6 hours. So I would just wrap this one in plastic wrap. And I've got one here ready. And we're going to have to kind of curl him around in the pan because I don't have a pan that wide. So we're just going to curl him around. Add just a little olive oil to that. Now I'm going to just lay him down in this pan, and oh, he's all right. So I'll take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to get this in the oven. So join me back, because not only are we going to finish cooking this, we're going to be making a heavenly crab mousse. I so hope y'all are enjoying the show. And if you do, be sure to click like, subscribe, and the notification bell so you'll never miss a video. And we'll be right back after the break. While y'all were gone, I got the veal browned, and now we're ready to wrap him in a little pig and get him in the oven. So I'm gonna come over here. I've got 8 pieces of bacon. Gonna just nestle them up together. There we go. All right. Now we're gonna take this luscious piece of meat and lay it right there. And then we're just gonna fold our bacon over him, just like that. And then we're just gonna tuck. Now we're gonna put him in a preheated 375-degree oven, and we're gonna cook him to an internal temperature of about 140. You can see how beautiful he's gonna be when we slice him. In the meantime, let's start on our sauce that we're gonna have to pour over him. And I'm gonna throw in our shallots. I'm just gonna run those around in all those brown crispies. Now I'm gonna take some chicken stock and pour over the shallots and let this cook until it's reduced to probably about half that size. And then we'll come back to that. But for right now, let's move over to our crab mousse. This dish is so good. All right, I'm gonna take some water, and I've got 1 packet of plain gelatin. So I'm just gonna pour that over there and let that bloom, let that just sit for a minute. Give it a little stir. All right, and in this saucepan, I'm gonna add a can of cream of mushroom soup and an 8-ounce package of softened cream cheese. This is gonna be just delectable. All right, now we're gonna heat these 2 ingredients together until they're hot and bubbly. And then we're gonna be adding our gelatin just as soon as it's dissolved, and I think it's all right, so we'll pour that in. And that's gonna make our mousse tighten up for us. All right, you'll wanna make sure that you use your whisk so that this won't be lumpy. And this is smoothing out beautifully, so that's great. All right, now I'm gonna add some spring onion or green onion tops. I'm gonna add some celery. And this is very close to done. It's starting to bubble. Now I'm gonna wanna switch utensils because I'm gonna be folding in our crab meat, and I don't wanna tear that up. I want it to still be in those big clumpy lumps because we paid a lot of money for lump crab. So in that goes, along with the lemon juice, the Worcestershire, and the seasoning salt. And I'm just gonna fold that in rather gently. I'm gonna serve mine in the shell because I think they're so cute. It's gonna give us such a variety with our meal. All right, you can see that I've reduced our chicken stock and our shallots. I'm gonna throw in some lemon juice, some capers, and I've got some fresh parsley. And then I'm gonna add our leftover cheeses, goat cheese and cream cheese. All right, now I'm gonna whisk in our butter. All right. I hear the veal. I know it's ready because Gertie's sniffing. Oh, look how delicious. All right. He's just beautiful. Now, how good are you gonna look when you serve this meal? You'll have him eating out of your hands for at least a week. And I'm gonna let him cool for a minute. I can't hardly wait to taste. I've just got to try our crab mousse. So yummy. But this is what I can't wait to wrap my lips around. It's so good. All right, I've tasted our savory jelly roll. Coming up next is a sweet jelly roll. Pumpkin jelly roll up next. I hope y'all are enjoying the show, and I want to hear from you. Tell me what recipes or videos you'd like to see me make by just leaving a short comment below. Now, let's get back to the show, y'all. Well, we're going to go to just a little bit of trouble for today's dessert, but it's going to be worth it. I'm going to throw in some dark rum in the saucepan, and I'm going to put in some plain gelatin, and we're going to just heat this up. All right, let's dissolve, so pour that in there and let it get cool. Now, to make our pumpkin roll cake, I'm going to start by beating up our 6 egg whites until they're stiff. And I'm sorry, but this is the boring part. All right. Now we'll just push those over to the side. Now over here, I've got 3/4 of a cup of cake flour. And we're just gonna run those through the sifter along with cinnamon, ginger, and some allspice. All right, now I'm gonna cream our 6 yolks, granulated sugar, and my brown sugar. And we're just gonna cream this together. We've got that nice and creamy and a pretty yellow color. And now we're gonna add our pumpkin. This is just an ordinary canned pumpkin. Now I'm gonna fold our batter into our egg whites. Ooh, it smells so good. All right, so we're gonna take that and fold it together. And I've got a prepared jelly roll pan sitting here waiting on me that I've lined with parchment paper because we want our cake to come out easy. All right, now we're gonna just pour our batter in. We're gonna put this into a preheated 375-degree oven, and we're gonna let it bake for about 15 to 18 minutes. And you'll wanna make sure that you level it out good so it'll be even. I'm gonna give it a little shake to make sure it spreads out evenly. All right, so 375 for 15 to 18 minutes, but you know I've got another cake ready. You know we ain't cooking just one cake. So let's pull this one out and see if it's ready. Ooh, look at that cake. All right, we'll want to be very gentle now at this point. I'm gonna ease him off. Now I'm gonna dust him with powdered sugar. All right, now I'm very gently gonna curl up this edge. And the cake's still hot, so you can use your towel to roll him up. And I'm gonna pull that parchment paper away. And a tip that I have in my dessert book on jelly rolls. When you're making jelly roll cakes, you can always trim the edges off your jelly roll and it'll roll up nice and easy for you. Now we're gonna pop him in the fridge and let him chill because we can't run the risk of using a cold filling in a warm cake. So this has got to chill. This is a must. Okay, but I've got one chilled in here. And I've got some whipping cream. Now we're gonna gently unroll this cake. All right, that's as far as I'm gonna open the jelly roll. And I'm gonna take some fresh whipped cream and I'm gonna fold in our gelatin and rum. It smells good. And I'm going to take 6 tablespoons of an English toffee. These are English toffee bits, and you can buy them in the bacon section at the grocery store. All right, and I'm going to take some extra toffee chips and just run them close to that line. Look how beautiful he looks. So now I'm just gonna fold that gently back together. Now I'm gonna take a knife and I'm gonna cut mine in 2. Place him on the platter, seam side down. Start by dusting it with some powdered sugar. And I'm gonna drizzle it with a nice caramel sauce. Little extra topping. How beautiful is that? When we come back, I'm gonna share a good quick one with you. I so hope y'all are enjoying the show. And if you do, be sure to click like, subscribe, and the notification bell so you'll never miss a video. And we'll be right back after the break. I've got a little tip for you. And we're going to quickly make a stuffing for mushrooms. But I've got enough chopped parsley, chopped green onions, a little Parmesan cheese, and the cream cheese. And then I'm going to add the crab meat, along with a little house seasoning. All right, now I'm just gonna stuff this into our mushrooms. And the cream cheese with the crab is delicious. And that's all it is to it. Now we're gonna stick that in the oven and we're gonna bake it until it's hot. Now I'm gonna top them with a little breadcrumbs. I'm gonna give it a spray with some nonstick cooking spray, and that'll just help it brown. Now, if you've got a portobello that needs to be used up, just take the gills out of the portobello, stuff him with our crab and cream cheese, little house seasoning, little breadcrumbs, a squirt, and in about 20 minutes, I'll have a hot appetizer and I will serve this at the table. And it's yummy and no trouble. So I hope you like this one. I'm so excited to share these recipes with y'all today. The veal loin that's stuffed with that fresh basil and the goat's cheese and the crab mousse. It's just perfect for any time of year. And I don't think I have to say a word about this pumpkin jelly roll cake. I think it probably speaks for itself. Whether you got a boss coming, a client, or maybe even a new mother-in-law, I think all these recipes will have you shining like a bright star. And I've got one thing left to do, and that's to taste this pumpkin jelly roll cake. And I'll try to leave a little topping for the others. Until next time, America, I send y'all best dishes in love from my fancy table to yours.
Hey y'all, it's Paula Deen. Now, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to like it and click the subscribe button as well as the notification bell to be alerted when I post a video. Love and best dishes, y'all.